Great. All right. Well, let's call this meeting to order. Welcome, everybody, to the Hermosa Beach City School District regular meeting. Dinah, can we start with a roll call, please?
On that. Board Member Barrow.
Present.
Board Member Gardner.
Present.
Board Member Bove-LaMonica. Present. Vice President Clerk Cole.
Present.
President Kluth.
Present.
All present.
Thank you very much. Moving on to public comment. Public comments from the audience to the board for items on closed session. Members of the audience may address the board regarding closed session agenda items. Comments from visitors shall not exceed 3 minutes unless waived by a majority of all members of the board. Seeing nobody in person, we will adjourn to closed session.
We're not ready yet. We're not. We have a little study.
Okay.
I was like, happy to help you. Thank you very much.
You guys give me the nod?
We're good.
You good?
Spill the whole glass of water. I'm sorry.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Hermosa Beach City School District's public board meeting for December. Very happy to see all these wonderful faces here. All right, we are going to start with call to order. Dinah, can you do the roll call, please?
Board Member Barrow.
Present.
Board Member Gardner.
Present.
Board Member Bove LaMonica.
Present.
Vice President Clerk Cole.
Present.
President Kluth.
Present.
All present.
All right, thank you. All right, report from closed session. For today, December 11th, 2024, in closed session, the board approved a resignation agreement with a certificated employee, providing for a resignation from employment, release of claims, lump sum severance payment, and other terms, as specified in the written agreement, a copy of which is available for public inspection upon request. The roll call vote was as follows. Board Member Kluth, yes. Board Member Cole, yes. Board Member Bove LaMonica, yes. Board Member Douglas, yes. Board Member Barrow, yes. That'd be Board Member Gardner, pardon me, yes. Additionally, in closed session, the board received information. All right. With that, we now move to the flag salute. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bring it. Good. Cute.
I'm getting good at that. Okay. All right. We now, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Jen.
Second.
Thank you, Doug, for the second. All in favor? Aye. Agenda approved. All right, moving on to announcements. We get to start with our favorite announcement, the Valley Student Council. Please come up.
Woo!
Hello, everyone. I'm Maria Costas. I'm Valley Student Council Vice President. We're very excited again to be here tonight and update you on what has been happening at Valley. Trimester 2 has begun and new elective classes are in full swing. And see Mr. Kaplan, students are creating their own apps using code.org. Classes are also beginning their mini golf game where they use Hummingbird with programming here to make music components. We are excited to see how the projects turn out. At Hermosa Valley Band had their winter concert last night, and they performed several songs including Jingle Bells, Away in the Manger, Jingle Bells, Jam, Hanukkah dances, Silent Night, a Merry Christmas, All-Day Grand Final, and We Wish You a Merry Christmas. In addition, a small group of students also performed a jazz arrangement of the classic carol, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Oh, thank you. Our band will also be performing at our flag ceremony next Wednesday. 8th grade art students are learning about color, which includes lessons in color theory, color schemes, and an eye color wheel mini project. Miss Infusino's and Gibson's classes, Spanish students are learning more verbs and adjectives and are beginning to read Spanish using the book Las Aventuras de Isabel. Last Friday's Student Council hosted our first dance of the year. The theme was Masquerade, and it was a huge success. We had a lot of fun eating In-N-Out and dancing with our friends. We turned the gym lights off and had a lot of colorful and bright lights in the dark, which was really fun, and everyone enjoyed it.
That was great.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eleni Costas, and I'm a Valley Student Council representative. Winter sports are up and running. Boys and girls basketball and soccer have completed tryouts and begun practices. Games begin in January. We look forward to an exciting winter sports season. More information can be found on our athletics website. Outdoor ed trips are right around the corner. First up is 8th grade Astro Camp next month. 6th and 7th grade camps follow. All information about outdoor ed can be found on the Valley website. Each year during the month of December, our students adopt families that are in need. This year, 5th through 8th grade students have adopted 10 families. Many classes will soon begin wrapping the gifts and get them ready for delivery. What we have learned the most with this project was that there are many people in our area, city, country, state, and world that have many needs that many of us don't have to think about in our own families. We want to thank Miss Vizzy for always setting this up for us, for helping us through the process and showing us that this season is more than receiving, but giving to those who may need more than what we do. Next Wednesday, December 18th, Valley will have their December flag ceremony. We hope to see you there. Winter break begins soon, and we are excited to spend time with friends and family. There will be a half day next Friday, December 20th, and school will resume on Monday, January 6th. We hope everyone has a wonderful break. Thank you again for allowing our student council to share what is happening at Valley. We look forward to sharing more information next month.
Great job.
Okay, we're moving on now to board member service recognition. Superintendent Wilds.
Here we go. Good evening, everyone. So tonight we come together to honor two remarkable individuals who have dedicated countless hours, how many hours, Doug, to the well-being to the well-being and success of our students, our staff, and our community. It is my incredible privilege to recognize and thank Board President Quentin Cluth, Board Member Doug Gardner, for their unwavering service and their commitment to the Hermosa Beach City School District. So to get us started, help me welcome from the city of Hermosa Beach, Mayor Dean Francois.
Thank you very much. It's quite an honor to be here on behalf of the City Council, residents of Hermosa Beach. You know, to be a school board member, to put in your time as a volunteer and serve on a group like this that meets close to your community. I felt it myself when I was in high school. My dad was on the school board. I kind of knew what it was like from that end. But, you know, it's really important. It's great to pay tribute to people that go out of their way to make a difference in the community and the schools. So we have prepared here for Mr. Gardner and Mr. Cluth's pack and certificate. Come on down here and come on down and participate here. Oh, those are the other things. Okay. There we go. There we go. So, there you go. This is for you. Thank you very much, Mr. Gardner. This is from the city of Hermosa Beach. Nice little plaque on a wooden thing. Thanks so much for your service. Oh, you know, this is these things that the city's put together all the time. And thank you so much for this. Look at this, huh? Wow. You get to hang it up and put it somewhere, and I guess they want to do pictures now. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. You've done a great job. Good work. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Francois. So throughout their tenures, Doug since 2017 and Quentin through 2020, they have stepped up During the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, they have led with integrity and compassion and vision. Their thoughtful decision-making and willingness to listen to diverse perspectives, even amidst the unprecedented challenges of school closures, ensured that our Hermosa schools remained safe. They remained engaging environments where students could thrive. Their leadership extended to championing our educators by providing the resources and professional development and opportunities and supporting programs that celebrated the unique gifts and talents of our students. Beyond the classroom walls, Quentin and Doug have worked tirelessly to strengthen the bond between the Hermosa Beach City School District and our broader community, fostering partnerships that uplifted our families and extended opportunities for everyone. Under their stewardship, HBCSD achieved significant milestones, a solid financial foundation, the highest enrollment in the last decade when every surrounding school district has declining enrollment, signature programs, expanded music and band offerings, the future modernization of Hermosa Valley School through the successful passage of Measure HV, and Doug, your advocacy in Measure S led to two of the most beautiful school facilities that I have ever encountered, Hermosa View and Hermosa Vista. School facilities have a significant impact on both teacher wellness and student achievement, and that is a legacy that you both should be extraordinarily proud of. Doug, before you leave, I did get a call from Jason Johnson. He did want me to sneak in here to remind you that Cal beat Stanford 24-21. Okay. All right, I'm back. He told me he would cut me off if I didn't get that in here. Quentin and Doug, as you step down from the board, we want to express our deepest gratitude for your significant contributions to our small school district. The lasting impact of your dedication, guidance, compassionate leadership will resonate throughout our district for years to come. You've inspired us to aim higher, care more deeply, and continue striving for excellence. On behalf of the Hermosa Beach City School District and the greater Hermosa Beach community, we thank you, Quentin and Doug, from the bottom of our hearts, and we wish you the best in the future. And so we have an amazing plaque, which is only given, which I am told, this wave is not given to everybody. So we'll start with Doug, if you don't mind coming down, and we also have some recognitions from our state assembly. And this is a giant wave.
Oh, a giant wave.
How about a picture with your family?
Sure.
Come on up. Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Board President Kluth, come on down. This may be the only time in history we have an outgoing Kluth and an incoming Kluth at the same time. So this is for you.
Thank you very much. Erin would really like to be in
She does. Hug and let your family. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Moving on, item C is the acknowledgement for Douglas Gardner, and I think some of my colleagues, if that's okay, wanted to share some sentiments. So I'll just kind of open it up.
Do you want to go down the line?
Why don't the comments go first and Doug then can speak last?
Sure. Hi. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kathy Barrow, and I'm the newest member of this board, and so I'm eager to have two new ones. But I'm sorry to see two such stalwart mentors leave. I've learned a ton from both of them. When I came on, Doug was president, and he just led this board very smoothly, very concisely, within good time limits, et cetera. And then when Quentin came on, he continued that process. But you guys are inspirational, and I feel like I'm a sort of an imposter here because I'm with such great minds and great experience, but I'm trying to live up to your challenge of being like you guys. So I'm sad to see you go, and happy to move on. I'm happy for you to move on. So, thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to echo what Kathy said, but Doug, I just wanted to thank you publicly for the dedication and the public service for the last 7 years. It's a long time. I feel like we've kind of grown into this job together, and I will personally miss you up here and in meetings. Your passion for Hermosa, your family, your interests have become our interests, which is funny and good, and your commitment to the community. They just inspire me to always do more and lean in. If you don't know Doug, this man is a leaner inner. He leans in and goes hard. So we'll miss your perspective in meetings, but we will definitely conference call you in when we need you. And I just really appreciate your guidance and your dedication over the last 7 years. So thank you.
I just would add, I don't want to take away his pause, but I just want to add that, Doug has been very helpful to me as well. He and I have gone on some long walks and talked some things through. He was a coach of my daughters in basketball. His wife has been an incredible contributor to the community as well. It's an all-around fantastic family. Doug is not the loudest member on the board, but always very thoughtful, and his contributions, we really listen because when they're made, they're important. So thank you, and it's been great serving with you.
Doug, 7 years. We only get to do this once a month, but for 5 hours, or it's no longer 5 hours. Stephen's not here, so it's in the 90 minutes. Oh, sorry, Stephen. In the 90 minutes that we have up here, you just get a sense of how somebody operates. And so some of my favorite things with Doug is he does have this very silent operation that all of a sudden when he dives in on a question, you're like, oh, what's Doug? I really better reread that piece. Why is Doug giving a double question on it? And so from your time with the COC and then transitioning in here, it's a thank you to not only you, but your family, because it does become an ask on the whole family for your service to this community. And so thank you to all of you for doing the work you've done. And then some of my favorite moments, I think, with you have been whenever the band comes in and watching you get so excited for the band. It just helps reinforce why it's such a special music program and the possibilities we have for it. And then lastly, when you and I had to do the TMP and the kind of the alert of the lawsuit that was being imposed by the city on the district, we all had to deal with it at the same moment, but you and I had to deal with that specifically. And I really value your partnership in that. I valued sitting next to you on the board, and I'm going to miss you up here. So thank you so much.
All right. I'm going to try to make it through this. I did sit yesterday and write something because I was like, oh, I need to remember this. I need to remember that. So I apologize in advance for kind of reading. That's usually not my style, but I didn't want to forget anything. Okay, so here we go. 7 years and 2 months doing this. To the day, October 11th, 2017 was day one, and now here we are, December 11th, 2024, at day, whatever, somebody can do the math. I didn't bother to do it, which I know surprises a lot of you. So I wanted to take a few moments to thank a set of people. First and foremost, I want to take a moment to thank all the board members, the ones up here, Kathy, Jen, Quentin, and Maggie. Maggie was actually the president on October 11th, 2017. Somehow, some way, and she keeps going. You know, she is the inspiration for all of us. She is our founding mother, not father. Like, you know, she is, you know, we all look to achieve what she has achieved on this board. But the other ones, Carlene Bestie, Mary Campbell, Monique Hassan, Stephen McCall, who I see in the corner over there, Barbara Zonderos, and the group here. It has been truly an honor and a privilege to work with all of you, and I've learned so much from all of you and really enjoyed working with all of you. I also, although I won't be sitting up here on Wednesday nights, will be thinking of each of you. You know, as I told Susan yesterday, don't plan to disappear into the woods. So you will be, you know, if something pops up, you know, I can fill out a pink card now too. I make my my thoughts and feelings known. Next, I want to thank the superintendents that I've had the opportunity and honor to work with, Pat Escalante, Jason Johnson, and Susan Wilds. Start with Pat. I could never probably put into words what she meant to me. I didn't know it at the time in 2017, but I wouldn't be sitting up here. I wouldn't be doing what I do in my day job if it wasn't for her. I don't know if I've ever said that to her, but I think she knows it, and I certainly know it, and the crew over there certainly knows it as well. She was a true mentor to me. Like, I joke that I went through a midlife crisis. Some of you know kind of how I changed careers, but I would have never done it if it wasn't for her, and what she taught me and how she supported me. You know, so it was just, she will always mean a lot to me. Second was Jason Johnson. He's gotten the best of me in the last 4 years. But that first year, Sanford did win on a blocked 24-23 on a blocked extra point. So I got him one time, you know, and, you know, but we have good fun with that. We always had good fun. And he, you know, truly led this district through, as Susan said, COVID, construction, everything. You know, he'll tell you we took a chance on a 35-year-old superintendent. He was the right person for the right time for this district, and I thank him personally, the district thanks him personally for all that he did. And finally, Susan, I know we didn't get to spend much time together, but I have utmost confidence in however you will take this district with Jen and Kathy and Maggie and Carol and Rachel. As I think I told you at one point, like, I see this as a transition for me personally, and why I'm comfortable doing that is knowing that the leadership of this district that's needed is in place, led by you, and, you know, with your team, with Sylvia and Paula and, you know, Jessica and Hillary and Aaron and Dinah and everybody. Like, I know it's in good hands. So that makes me comfortable, you know, stepping away from here. So I thank you. As well, I mentioned some of them, the administration, but going back also, Kim Taylor, in her time here, Angela Jones, Amy Rockwell, Ted Scott, and I'm sure there were others who went through a lot of those fires with us. If they're watching or here somewhere out there, I thank them as well for their service to this district, for what they've meant to me and taught me as well. And so we did a lot in those 7 years. We saw a lot of shit. I'm sorry, excuse my language. You know, we've accomplished a lot of great things. As Susan said, we built 2 schools. We're about to revamp the 3rd. We can probably start and just end here. 7 years ago tonight, 7 years and 2 months ago tonight, I sat down there and told the board that 5 people are up here. I was coming up here to see Measure S through, and we did it. At another time, I probably would use another word in there, but we did it. We have 2 beautiful schools. You know, we're about to revamp the 3rd. We went through a lot to get there, from tolling agreements to MOUs, NTMPs, to lawsuits, to the Coastal Commission, approving the EIR, the letters from the city, all that. It was battle after struggle, but we did it. We did it, and that was quite the accomplishment. And so that's the other reason why I'm comfortable leaving where I'm leaving is accomplish what I came up here to accomplish. You know, and I think there's honor and dignity and everything in that. We made it through COVID. I'm going to kind of leave that as that, but I take great pride in that we were one of the first school districts to reopen fully and what that meant to our kids here. And then we've just continued to grow the district enrollment, programming, social emotional wellness, 0 periods so kids can take more elective. We continue to expand electives. The future is just so bright for the Hermosa Beach School District. And you know, what Grant in the corner over there will get in his next 2.5 years, what Ellie got, and what the bunch of kids sitting back there will they get and the future kids will get is just incredible. I feel like I've left HBCSD in a better place than when I joined the board, and that's due to everyone up here and everybody who I've mentioned. I think it's really great. And so with that, I'd finally like to take a moment to thank the crew in the corner, my wife, Lisa, Ellie, and Grant, who are sitting down there. From the start of convincing me to put my name on the paper and fill out the paperwork to, you know, come up here. It definitely took some convincing to do that, and have supported me with everything they have through the last 7 years. I know I didn't impact everything or change everything or take all the suggestions or listen to all the pieces that you wanted, but you know, you've supported me unconditionally throughout the whole time of what we've been able to accomplish. And so I just thank you and love you, and that's all I got to say.
All right, the next item, this feels awkward. If anybody has anything they want to say, I'll open it up.
Well, I thought when I was talking that I was including both of you, but now I have to separate you. No, actually, Quentin, when he decided to be president, because I thought he was kind of wavering at one point, I should, I don't know, it's a cyclical thing, so we'll see if I do it, but he set me aside. Actually, when I came on the board, he took me out for drinks and said, you're gonna be great, and talked me into feeling good about coming on. So you were a good mentor, as also Doug was. And then when you were gonna be president, we met again and saw what we were thinking about what we could do in your tenure as president, and I think we've accomplished some good things. So I admire you, and we will miss you. Right?
Quentin, I can't even believe it's been 4 years. I was like trying to recheck myself today. I'm like, 4 years. I just love serving with you. It's been a real pleasure. Every time you're in a meeting or I'm watching how you think in your process. If you don't know that Quentin is Canadian, and so that just kind of plays into his thinking at every decision. It's not a secret. He's a U.S. citizen. He is currently. But I just appreciate your steadiness and your persistence and your curiosity. You were always wanting, I mean, we had more education experience, you had more business side experience, and I think it was a good match. You were able to ask us kind of all sorts of questions about how schools run, or how things are, why things happen certain ways, or why sometimes it feels slow and it should feel fast, or why it's fast and it should feel slow. All those questions, I think, have made us all better board members. And I feel like the community, we just struck gold with having Quentin as our president this last time, because he really helped us kind of financially get our head around what we're doing in this district, and how to be, I think, just smart about how we present information, transparency. And I just think we are better because you were in this role and on this board. So really appreciate all the things that you've done for this district and for me professionally and for our community. Our community is better because of you. So thank you.
Jen, that was so good. It's like budget at a glance. It's just, everything is so transparent. right now. For those of you that don't know, Quentin just presented at a statewide conference last week in an award-winning presentation for Budget at a Glance that he developed with Paula. So we're really so lucky to have had his expertise up on the board. And Quentin, I'm thinking back 4 years ago when I am like literally talking to you on the way to Norwalk about what you should do in filing the papers. And I'm so glad you went through with it and didn't turn around on the 105 because one, we didn't have anyone else, and two, you've been outstanding. I think your ability to focus, though, on a different way of asking questions was so beneficial, as Jen mentioned, to Jen and I, and to Kathy, and just in terms of it, you were able to say, that, but why? And so I think people coming in from outside the education world, where there is always so much just process or tradition in terms of how you look at things, being able to look at it an entirely different way and asking that why was really, really important. So thank you for always doing that. And I'm going to miss you. Thank you so much.
All right. As you mentioned, we've known each other a long time. When our girls were in kindergarten, we were the basketball coaches together. That was a long time ago. We've seen a lot and come through a lot. I know you, as Maggie alluded to, and Kathy alluded to, you weren't so sure about this, but like to see where you are now is like just really impressive. Jen said that I lean in, you lean in. What you've done, and particularly in your year as president, you got a bond approved. Like, you got a superintendent hired. Like, those are two things that, like, if you in your time up here do at all is impressive, and you did them both at the same time. Like, that's insane. And on top of that, you did the budget at a glance, which you presented at CSBA with Paula. Like, you changed how we look at our numbers and, hopefully impress, I'm sure you did impress, not hopefully, I'm sure you did impress that upon others. So hopefully to start change along the way that, other school districts looked at their numbers well. And so congratulations, my friend. Like you did it also, you leaned in, you made a difference, and it's just super impressive. So thank you for your efforts, your time. And now we get the other clues.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Dr. Wild said that I should model my notes off of the Lincoln Douglas debates, but I'm going to try to keep it short. So I'm going to flip it around a little bit. I'm going to start with thanking Carol. You were kind of my inspiration for doing this because of all the work that you put into the district with HBEF. And my kids have also been an inspiration for me. I've taken your feedback and ideas back and tried to reflect them in my board questions. I want to thank my board colleagues, past and present. Thanks, Stephen, for coming, and thank you to all of you. I'm thankful for all of you, and I don't want to go on too long, but I'm going to say one special short thing about Maggie. It was I was wavering about whether or not I wanted to be the president, and Jen was a hero for saying that she would step in if I shirked my duty, but Maggie basically said, put on your big boy pants, and this is what you signed up for, and I'm really, really glad she did, because we've had a great year, and so thank you for that. Thank you to the staff, the superintendent, the cabinet, all the certificated staff, all the classified staff. Our district has an incredible team of professionals who are very dedicated to our kids, dedicated to their professions, do a great job, and the community should feel really good about the team that we have taking care of our kids. And thank you to our community. Whether you're a volunteer in the classes, whether you donate to PTO or HBEF, whether you just make sure that your kids get to school well-fed and clothed and ready, and you read to them at night, those things really matter, and those things make this district as good as it is. I won't go on too long about our accomplishments, because other people have already mentioned them. Measure S enrollment, new schools, getting back from COVID early, safe, and with very little learning loss. But I'm particularly proud of having brought in a fantastic superintendent. I think that was great, and it was a team effort. I want to share the credit, obviously, for all of that. And HV, again, thank you to the community, and thank you to the team that really worked to kind of get that over the line. I think that's going to be great and a legacy for all of us for decades to come. So that's really, really exciting. Looking ahead, I think we have fantastic leadership. We've got a fantastic team here, fantastic staff, which delivers great programs. Again, partly thanks to our community and the funding that they provide so we can provision those programs. And just, I want one note for the community, public service was not something that I had a lot of experience with. I'd volunteered as a coach here and there for my kids. But when I threw my hat in the ring here, mostly because my wife couldn't at the time, she was otherwise committed. I wasn't sure what it was going to be like, and it's been really, really rewarding. And so, if you're a community member out there who's thinking about how can you be a part of your community and how can you contribute, volunteer, put your name in the hat for a role like this or a city commissioner role or something like that, because you can really have an impact and learn about kind of what the small institutions that really have a big impact on in our day-to-day lives, which is really fantastic. So it's been really rewarding, and I'm thankful to all of you. All right, can we get to something fun like budgets now? Okay. All right, actually, we've got public comments. So here's my script. Members of the audience may address the board on any topic, regardless of whether it is listed on the agenda. However, the board may not discuss issues raised that are not listed on the agenda. Topics not on the agenda that are brought to the board's attention may be investigated by the administration and a report made to the board, either publicly or privately at a future meeting. Comments from visitors shall not exceed 3 minutes per individual speaker unless waived by a majority of all members of the board. And we have public comments tonight. I have 3 public comments cards. If there's others that want to make public comment, you can just let us know, or you can fill out a card. But I will just sort of go from the start of the top of the pile here. Stephen McCall, please come forward.
Can you hear me okay? This is going to be hard because it's 3 minutes, but it's okay. I can try and get through it. Board, good evening, superintendent, staff, team, everyone here this evening. I'm just incredibly thankful. I mean, I'm thankful for Team Hermosa, and that includes everyone. But I think this evening with a special thanks to you two stepping down from the board, but also we have 2 people coming up onto the board. So I wanted to just take a moment to give thanks. And yeah, a lot of great accomplishments. I think it was very sort of apropos that this evening Doug's wearing an all-star jersey, because you're all all-stars up there. But I think that knowing where the district has come, and the narrative from being a small, oh woe is us school district, and the financial hardships that the district really had to endure, it was really brutal. It was talking about redundancies and layoffs and other really hard things that you don't go into a board position to make a difference. And changing that narrative to one where you've really transformed the district and leaving that legacy means so much. So, to both of you, a heartfelt thank you for your service. It's incredible. And to the families, Lisa, I know that you run the district, so well done. And just, it would be remiss of me if I didn't say I'm really excited and thrilled to see Carol and Rachel both come onto the board. Incredible leaders who have served our country and our community in ways that goes above and beyond. So I'm just going to leave it with a minute to go. There you go, board. But a heartfelt thank you for all of your service, and happy holidays.
Thank you, Stephen. Leah Navas.
Hello. I am a second grade teacher at this Oh, it's off? Okay. Okay. But I just want to take a moment to thank you all for everything that you have sown into this community, the board, the children. I also have the privilege of being a parent of two students that go here, go to school here. And having been the president of the union during COVID, it was the first time I really started to interact with board members via Zoom. And that was where our relationship began. And I do know the hardships, and I know how much you all have put into making sure that our district remained solvent and that our doors opened up for children and that we were a place of comfort and refuge for our families. And so I want to thank you for that. Two quick things that I want to say. My memory with Doug and Lisa was when we, the second grade teachers, were moving for the umpteenth time to Vista. I don't know if it was a refrigerator. Okay, it was a refrigerator. We're not supposed to have those. And I was up on the second floor, and the two of you grabbed that refrigerator and ran up the stairs, and I just thought like, oh, this is really inappropriate that I have the board members moving this. But there's a level of humility to put yourself at service. And so I appreciate that, and I know that my colleagues do as well. And then my memory of something that happened that you won't know, Quentin, is you sat across from me at last year's Christmas celebration, and I just remember someone at the table saying, I just love him, he is so great. And that's a big deal. So I want to thank you all for your leadership, for being so great, so kind, so humble, so generous. And we wish you the very best in your future endeavors. And we are looking forward to getting to know and work along with our new members. Thank you.
Lisa Vargas?
Hello, all. I'm Lisa Vargas Gardner, and as often happens with me, I was here for personal reasons and was asked to also do the official, business and work. So tonight, I am here on behalf of both boards. I currently serve as the VP of Operations for HVPTO and the co-VP of Operations for HBEF. And on behalf of those two boards, I'm here to say thank you to Quentin and to Doug. I was kind of going through today and trying to remember when I met Quentin. It very much had to have been sometime during the 15-16 school year at kindergarten, but I don't have that, exact memory. Honestly, I knew him as Carol's husband. As Carol and I started working together in PTO and HBF. And I do want to say to Quentin and Doug that one of the reasons both of you made fantastic board members is because of Carol and I, but not in that way. Not in the way you're thinking, in the way of your support of our work and what we were doing for the district gave you a firsthand view of the nitty-gritty of what was going on, and then bringing both of your own skills and personalities to this role, but you had that background to just hit the ground running. And I think your support for both of us, I'm going to speak on Carol's behalf for half a second, was instrumental to us being able to do our jobs as well. And of course, my phone closed. Quentin, when you decided to run, I don't know how many people remember, how many people have blocked it out, but being a school board member in the fall of 2020 was not something anyone wanted to do. And both of you, as Maggie said, there was no one else. You both put your names in and signed up for what was a very hard job over that next year. And we really do thank you for all of that. You know, Quentin, you have been a natural supporter and friend to HVPTO and HBF. So on behalf of both of those boards, I deeply, deeply thank you for your service to our students. And on a personal note, I look forward to future lunch dates with Carol that turn into couples happy hours, because Carol and I forget to go home. And, you know, Douglas, I actually don't remember meeting him either. For those who don't know, we were dorm mates way back when. But I do vividly remember being in this room in October 2017 when he became a board member. Those two sitting in the audience were in TK in second grade. That seems like a very long time ago, and yet it also went by in a flash. So very proud of you for stepping up then and continuing to do so. And like Quentin, your support of HBEF and HVPTO, both directly and for supporting me over the years. Your support has been unmatched. And on behalf of both of those boards, I thank you very much for your service. To Carol and to Rachel, thank you for stepping up. I am so confident in your ability to lead, to build consensus, to govern in the best interest of our students and serve as stewards of our community's schools. Both boards look forward to working with you, continuing to work with you, and congratulations. We know you'll do great. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Lisa. Are there any other public comments? All right, seeing none, we will move on to board action, oath of office. Superintendent Wilds.
We're on. All right, it's time to give up some chairs.
The eject seats.
Yeah, time to change some seats.
All right.
So good evening, everyone.
Yep. Yep, that's yours now. Oh, I should take my phone though.
So good evening, everyone. Before we proceed with tonight's agenda, I am honored to introduce two remarkable individuals who will be joining us as new members of the board. Carol Reed Cluth and Rachel Van Landingham have both demonstrated an unwavering commitment to education, the success of our students, and we are thrilled to have them bring their unique perspectives and talents to this team. We are absolutely over the moon to welcome Carol's perspective and experience as a dedicated resident, parent, volunteer, committee member, and HBEF board member, as a 3-year HBEF board president, and Rachel's commitment as a parent, community member, a lifelong public servant, military officer, professional educator, and parent. Feel very feel like maybe I need to work a little harder. We are confident that your insights and dedication will greatly enhance our efforts to support our schools, teachers, and students. So now it is time to officially welcome them as members of the Hermosa Beach City School District Governing Board. Carol and Rachel, if you will both join me at the podium to take the oath of office. So I'm gonna have you stand right here so you can see it. Okay, we're going to do Carol first, but so you have it in front of you. So Carol, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Carol Reed Cluth, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of a Board of Education member.
and I will well and faithfully perform the duties of a Board of Education member.
Congratulations. All right. Okay, Rachel, are you ready? Okay. Hold your right hand up. I, Rachel Van Landingham,
I, Rachel Van Landingham,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the great state of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the great state of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of a Board of Education member.
and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of a Board of Education member.
Congratulations. So we have a little gift. We have some reading material. Congratulations. Congratulations. And can we get your family to come up? Did Quentin already make a run for it, or? Right there. Oh. Come on up. We'll take a photo. Congratulations. And Carol and Rachel will have you join us up on the dais.
We'll give you guys a few minutes to just kind of settle in here, open the folder. And then Jen Cedarquist, are you? Or Miss Montoya is doing it? Yes, okay, great. Yeah. I'm excited. This is a great one to start. All right, Ms. Montoya, would you like to come on up and bring your, are you doing it without the students or the students coming up too?
I'm going to do a quick welcome and then they're going to follow me.
Okay, great. Can't wait.
Well, congratulations. This is so exciting. And I also want to say, I don't think I've ever heard a cuter and more enthusiastic Pledge of Allegiance, ever. So you guys did great. Good evening. I'm Allison Montoya. I'm the assistant principal of Hermosa Vista and Valley. Tonight, I am excited to introduce a fantastic group of dedicated young leaders who are passionate about making a positive impact in our school community. They're eager to share their accomplishments tonight and their share ideas for change in the future. I would also like to take the time to introduce their fearless leader, Miss Jennifer Cedarquist, fourth grade teacher at Vista and the student council supervisor, who without her, none of this would be happening. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome the fourth grade Vista Student Council.
Hi everyone, I am Waverly Molesky in Miss Sugden's class. Good evening, Hermosa Beach board members, Superintendent Dr. Wilds, and community members. My name is Waverly Molesky from Miss Sugden's class, and we are excited to present tonight how Vista Student Council, under Ms. Cedarquist's leadership, is making a positive impact at our school.
Hi, my name is Marlo Palacios, Miss Irvine's third grade student council representative. We came back from Thanksgiving break and full steam ahead. In fourth grade, starting this week, students will participate in a lively retelling of California's rich history through games, music, and storytelling in Walk Through California. We focus on major events that shaped our great state of California.
Hi everyone, I am Millie Giuliani, Mrs. Novice's second grade student council representative. In Mr. Kaplan's Idea Lab, fourth grade students just completed their Powtoon unit. They made a cartoon animation about themselves that included music, character movements, and transition. They also created circuits with batteries and wires and bolts.
Hi everyone, I'm Camila Robles, Ms. Aranda's fourth grade student council representative. This week we have Vista Scholastic Book Fair from December 9th to the 13th. Tonight we have a cozy cookie night at the Vista Library. Put your coziest outfit and join Miss Myers, Vista's amazing librarian, for an evening of shopping, milk, and cookies, and savor the magic of the book fair. In library, fourth grade started their book tasting. Second and third grade did an amazing job with the book Mummy Cat in Ancient Egypt, where they made their own little Giza with pyramids and mummies. All students are getting very good at looking up their own books and destiny to see what we have in a catalog. Vista has 5,530 books checked out so far this year, up 13.5% from last year. Go Readers.
Hi, I am Elma Huddleston from Miss Strike's fourth grade class. Also in Miss Gale's Spark Lab, students are learning all about code and how it's used in every electronic device, appliances, cars, and more. They are participating in an hour of code where students around the globe are introducing coding to students and having them code online. We are learning ways to problem solve and collaborate with each other through coding practices.
Hi everyone, I'm Henry Gathercole, Mr. Sanchez's third grade student council representative. Have you heard the news? Miss Kim and the students have been busy practicing their winter sing performance, which is tomorrow in the NPR. Students in every grade level have been working hard to learn songs full of winter fun and holiday cheer. In addition to the concert, this year's highlight for fourth grade graders have been learning how to play the recorder. Miss Kim has been teaching us the basic fundamentals of music theory and helping us become real musicians. We can't wait to continue learning more about music and preparing ourselves for the band in fifth grade. Please come and join us at the Winter Sing as second, third, and fourth graders will sing songs and dance to a welcome festive season.
Hi. I'm Violet Henderson, Miss Moon's third grade student council representative. Thank you for allowing us to share the upcoming events at Vista. Next, we will tell you about the amazing things Vista's student council have done and are planning for the rest of the year.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sophia Haroon, Miss Trevino's second grade student council representative. To join student council, students write a personal statement and share their vision for how they plan to make a positive impact at Vista School. These statements are then reviewed in a blind vote where fourth grade voters focus solely on the ideas and leadership potential presented, ensuring a fair and unbiased selection process.
Hi everyone, I'm Lily Martin, Miss Munson second grade student council representative. Student council is made up of 3 different fourth grade representatives from each of the fourth grade classes. Each classroom, second through fourth grade, is assigned a student council representative. We email teachers set up times to go around the classrooms and present information and events that are happening around campus. Most importantly, we listen to students' ideas, suggestions about how we can make how we can work together to make this day a happy and healthy environment for everyone on campus.
Hi, my name is Violet West, and I'm Miss Reich's 4th grade student council representative. You may be wondering, what's next? The student council did a walkthrough around campus and we noticed problem areas. We noticed that there are too many lunchboxes on the yard, Ziploc baggy ice packs on the floor, and the wind is blowing trash into the garden beds. We would also like to do monthly spirit days so we can celebrate being Vista Dolphins together.
Hi, I'm Morgan Sugiton, Miss Smith's 4th grade student council representative. We have solutions. We have come up with the idea to adopt an area. Each grade level can own an area around campus. If we get the whole student body involved in each tackle an area, our campus will continue to be maintained, clean, and a safe place for all students. Thank you again for allowing our student council to share what is happening at Vista, but also our plans for the future.
Hi everyone, I'm Landry Liang, Ms. Patel's 3rd grade student council representative. Our job as student council representatives is to see the needs around campus and make Vista a better place for all. Initiatives that we've taken so far include tackling Mount Everest. That is the ever-growing pile of clothes, water bottles, and lunchboxes that are in the lost and found. We came up with a fun and creative idea to have lost and found fashion shows at the end of our flag ceremonies. We walked the runway displaying all items to the audience of students and parents. It was a great success.
Hi everyone, my name is Kinsley O'Brien, Miss Bateman's Student Council representative. We also noticed the increasing amount of trash and waste after each lunch. In collaboration with Grades of Green, we created the Green Waste Collection Sorting System, where students sort their trash into bins of trays and paper goods, recycling, compost, and landfill. Student Council created signs and posters and put them around campus. We had parent volunteers who came and helped teach the students what goes in each bin. Let's go green.
All right, thank you for having us here tonight. I'd like to thank Allison for inviting us and also for putting the script together, which she didn't write me a script, so I'm just winging it here. But you can imagine how proud I am and how proud the parents are of this group of children. This is my 3rd year as the student council leader. Facilitating this group of students is really such a great honor. So thank you for having us tonight.
Cedar Crest, before you leave the podium, come on back. Yeah, come. We just have a couple of questions. We just want to thank you. First, we want to thank you and all the kids that came up. I mean, incredible reading, great job, incredible pride. It just oozes out of all of you. So it's so fun to see, and way to tackle problems that are really there. I mean, that's amazing. That's what the student council should be for. So great job. Really impressed. We also just want to open it up to anyone else on the board that might want to make a comment or say anything tonight.
I want to add to the excellent reading. Being a former language arts teacher, I'm very, very impressed with the reading and like Jen said, tackling problems and coming up with concrete solutions. That's how we make the world a better place, and that's tribute to you guys. You too, of course, with Cedar Crest.
Thank you. Well, it's really all that.
Thank you. So if everyone, now is a good time. If you want to, you're welcome to stay, but if you need to get home for something, we'll just let everyone kind of clear out. Though this is governance and work right here. This is how the magic happens, people. You want me to ask? Oh.
All right, well, thank you to everyone who's staying. We appreciate you staying. We're going to move on to R-14-2425, the Tri-City Survey results. And Ms. Gluck?
Yes, good evening. I'm excited to share with you the new data that Beach Cities Tri-District Survey. First time that we've done this. I wanted to share with the board that last year, Beach Cities, as well as this school advisory group, which is made up of administrators from Manhattan Beach, Redondo Beach, and Hermosa Beach, felt like it was time to move away from Panorama Survey, but still collect the necessary data to address our student needs. The survey tonight will highlight various areas, specifically with inclusion, as well as a sense of belonging and the cultures of schools. As you can see, here's the timeline that we utilized in regards to creating the survey. We do have data from Panorama from fall of 2021 to spring of 2024. We brought Panorama to the district as a means to measure sense of belonging, bringing students back from COVID-19, and we continued with it until last year, where we felt it was important for us to address various needs in the beach cities. So we had a collective think tank. We worked together over summer, and we came up with a survey that's similar in nature, but is not exactly the same as the Panorama survey. We piloted the survey in the fall, and we will go back in January to do a post-test to see where we're at with our data. We have some great data to share in regards to the summary of our survey. It's important to note our sense of belonging at schools has steadily increased over time. You can see the increase that we've had from 2021 until just recently, the fall. In regards to having trusted adults on campus, we still see increases, but there is still a small gap of an opportunity for us to build stronger relationships and foster deeper connections with our students. Most impressively, we did go ahead and ask one question to our students: would you recommend Hermosa schools to your friends? And as you can see, 92.1% of our students felt they could recommend our schools. Data in regards to the survey is very high, being that it was a survey created by the school district and our various neighbors. I believe we have participation and buy-in from our family, so you can see how high the participation is. We have a very low opt-out percentage of students not taking the survey. Sense of belonging survey is how our students feel they are valued members of the community. This section of the survey included 9 questions and 3 open-ended questions. Our survey can be found on our school website if you'd like to look at it in its entirety. This year's survey, we did a few different things. First thing is, responded favorably is still going to be calculated by taking the strongly agreed and adding that together to get the percentage. But what we did this year is we added these emojis for our younger students, and it was a quick response for them to take a pulse. And I think this has really helped in regards to our data. All 3 school districts did use the exact same emojis. The questions are exactly the same, with the exception of the question, would you recommend your school to neighbors? That was something Hermosa wanted to do, as we did not move forward with our Net Promoter survey. Throughout this presentation, I will be showing some data in regards to the 3 districts, but mostly we will be focusing on Hermosa data. The final question in the Tri-City survey was, overall, I feel I belong at my school, while the Panorama survey phrased it as, overall, how much do you feel like you belong in your school? So there is a difference in the questions, but underlying the same tone. The results presented reflect data from each district. It is important for us to remember that Hermosa is an elementary school district serving students K through 8, where our neighboring school districts do address high school. So please take that into consideration when we're looking at data across different districts. The data that I'm sharing with you here is data that has been collected from Hermosa throughout time. with a panorama survey from fall of 2021 to spring of 2024. And then the fall of 2024 is the new survey data. The Tri-City survey asked, overall, I feel I belong at my school, while the panorama survey posed a similar question. Overall, how much do you feel like you belong at your school? These results are reflective of the work the district has done in regards to mental health, school-wide initiatives, and providing student choice in school programming. You can see we do have a big jump in regards to students feeling a sense of belonging at school. The next data point that we're looking at is how do students feel in regards to respect by their peers. Tri-City survey specifically asked, I feel respected by students at my school, whereas the Panorama survey previously asked, how much respect do students at your school show you? Data from all three districts suggest an overall sense of peer respect. However, there is room for improvement in fostering respectful behaviors through school-wide practices, both inside and outside of the classroom. The survey question did not ask whether inside the classroom or outside, so it takes the overall school day into effect. This data slide shows how students feel respected by students at their school. The data here reflects that at Hermosa schools, we've seen a large increase from the spring of 2024 to the fall of 2024. Which is significant, which highlights meaningful progress in this area for the school district, teachers, staff, and administration. The next three slides that I'm going to present are district-wide data, but they break it down by individual grades. So the blue bar that you see is the overall cumulative percentage of how students responded favorably, and then you can go ahead and look at the variability from each grade level. We do still see positive findings showing that students feel supported at school. Overall, our elementary school grades report higher levels of support compared to other grade levels. When examining the statement, I have at least one trusted adult on campus that I can go to if I need help. The data shows that fifth grade students have a real strong relationship and connection with the adults on campuses. This is, I feel connected to adults at my school. So this is a little bit lower. We do see fifth grade still showing this strong connection to various adults at school. The question is broad in nature where students can, pick any adult on campus. The next part of our assessment included a student inclusion, and it really was how students feel that they are valued members of their school community. There was a question in regards to how are they treated fairly by students at their school. When we reviewed this data statement, I am treated fairly by students at my school, sixth grade students reported the highest positive responses at 88.6%, while the third grade students reported lower scores at 69.1%. This highlights an opportunity to provide support to our youngest students in fostering a sense of fairness among their peers. So we may want to look at different ways on how we can address this in the classroom as well as outside of the classroom. The data statement for I am treated fairly by adults at my school shows that approximately 82% of students responded favorably. This indicates a strong correlation suggesting that most students feel they are being treated fairly at school by staff. Once again, fifth grade is really high in this area. When examining this statement, I interact with students from diverse racial, ethnic, or cultural backgrounds at school. The data shows lower scores. This may reflect our district's demographic overall makeup, which offers limited opportunities for students to engage with peers from diverse backgrounds. Currently, Hermosa's highest ethnic group is white at 59.2%, with Hispanics being the second largest group at 12.4%. based on the data reflected on the California dashboard. And from there, the percentages get lower and in the single digits. Lastly, in response to the statement, I have friends at school from diverse racial, ethnic, and cultural backgrounds, 83.4% of students reported positive responses. This contradicts with the previous question, suggesting that while opportunities for interaction may be limited, many students still have friends from diverse backgrounds or cultures. And the last question is the specific question to Hermosa. Previously, Hermosa conducted a net reporter survey annually. With the addition of the Tri-City survey, Hermosa included a question asking students if they would recommend their school to a friend. This question provided valuable insight into how students feel about their school, their teachers, their peers, and the results showed overwhelmingly positive responses, highlighting a strong connection between students and their school. So we're interested to see the data as we retake this survey in January. What are we going to do with all this data? It's a lot of data, and now we have it Beach Cities wide. The first thing is we need to review this data with our principals, and they need to review it with our leadership teams to look at it and get the insights of why they feel the data is the way it is, and maybe they can provide some reflection points to the district as well, or how we can move forward. We are going to continue to collaborate with Beach Cities Health District to use this data to develop programming for our students. We need to review the survey administration again and see if these questions need to stay the same, or do we need to change them after we do the survey for a year. We are also going to take the California Healthy Kids Survey in the spring. We're going to use that data to look at it and how it correlates to the Tri-City survey data. And lastly, we want to use this data as a baseline for our LCAP when we're looking at sense of belonging and culture of school and how kids feel they're connected to their school. Just to let you know, after the slide, there are the open-ended questions that were the same as Panorama, and the summary is very detailed that you can look at. There are many correlations from previous surveys of Panorama, and then the entire survey with the Beach Cities Tri-City data is included. You just will need to click the hyperlink to go through all of the questions and where everyone stands. Does anyone have any questions on the data that I just presented?
Does anyone have questions on the board? Maggie? Go ahead, Maggie.
Sylvia, thank you so much for presenting that. I'm glad we moved away from Panorama and into our own administered survey. I'm curious if we have plans on cross-checking. It's encouraging to see the sense of belonging and respect, and I'm curious if there's a way to overlap that with discipline, behavior, and see if, like, I belong more, I'm not going to be a punk on campus. If there's any actual intersection on those two pieces, and I'm not sure how we look at how we collect that kind of behavior data, but it would be an interesting piece to see if there's any sort of correlation there. And the second piece, in terms of I feel connected to adults, a past practice had been to sit down with administrative teacher teams and map. Are we still mapping?
They're still mapping at this school. I'm not sure if they have delivered the map activity already yet, but we can follow up on a Friday update on that.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for the work on that.
Carol, I'll put it down to you. Do you have any questions?
Did I do that right? So thank you, Sylvia. I love looking at numbers and surveys, so I'm always interested to see that. I did have one question just in terms of when we're looking at the different grade correlations, if we're able to see how the other districts did and see if there's patterns across the districts.
We can go ahead and pull that data through Beach Cities. We just started the preliminary work of pulling individual data, and then Manhattan has presented their data to their school board already, and then the work that we do as an advisory group, we can look at by grade. I know Beach Cities Health District will be taking certain data points and publishing them in their annual report by specific grades too. But they may be highlighting one or two of the questions in regards to school culture.
Thank you.
Kathy?
I'm good.
I have a couple questions. One is, in Redondo and Manhattan, can they just segregate the questions by K-8?
Yeah.
The survey was provided to students in 3rd through 8th grade, and we can go ahead, we did this through a Google survey, so we can look at data by grade level, or the bigger districts are looking at it via school level, or maybe by elementary level, middle school level, high school level.
So we're not looking at, when we see it compared to Redondo or Manhattan, in this deck, it's not, we're not looking at their high school.
In this deck, 11th grade is included, which is important because that may be skewing their data. So the
Okay.
question is, can we ask beach cities to see if they can rerun the data for the other districts, excluding the high school?
Yeah, that'd be great. I just think it'd
Just
just
so
give
we
us
have
more
a
of a tell.
like-to-like comparison. Yeah.
And then how many times are we going to take this? So
Twice a
Twice.
year.
So first in September and then in January?
January.
And any reason?
Because of the California Healthy Kids will be
Got it.
running in the spring
Okay.
as the final data point.
Great. And then my last question is, when you are going back, I guess, and talking to staff about, it'd be really interesting to just understand if in 5th grade there is something, is there something magical happening in 5th grade that we should just replicate in other grades? Because it's not as if we have this like wall that says you can't go, the 5th and 6th grader, they don't always interact, but it is at the same school, so.
We think it'd be really interesting to ask the teachers what they think is contributing to kind of that pop, because we see that pop across time.
Yeah.
Is it because they are self-contained versus, we don't know. But I bet they'd have some
Yeah,
pretty
I think it'd just be
good ideas.
interesting, because
Yeah.
that might be maybe they're doing something special in 5th grade that.
You think it's chocolate? It could be. Yeah, it could be.
And that was in there, so it was really helpful to me I feel like it's going to help us look forward to like our goals in 2025, like making sure that we're incorporating some of the requests from students, I think are really heartfelt and things that are, I think adults, we often underestimate kids, and they're super articulate in what they need. And so listening to them is really, I think, important for us. So, and then I tried to see if I could look at all the free responses, and that link is not in there. In terms of like,
Would you want
the raw data.
Would you want the raw data? I can give you access to that.
Yeah, I just am curious. I'm not going to do anything with it other than just.
You can provide that on a Friday update.
So
We also want to thank the Beach Cities Health District, because
Oh.
they did a lot of work here. And when I may have been in another district when we came to them and said, all these districts paid for Panorama out of one-time COVID money.
Mm-hmm.
And it is extraordinarily expensive. But we found the data so interesting because this is identifiable data, so we can pinpoint student needs very quickly. And so they worked very hard to kind of put this together for us. So big kudos to them.
Yeah,
'cause
thank
they've
you, Beach
saved
Cities.
hundreds of thousands of dollars across the Tri-Cities.
Okay, we're going to move on now to R-15-24/25 HBCSD's first interim report, Ms. Montalvo.
Thank you. Clicker. Okay, good evening, Board. I'm here to present the first interim report. This report covers the budget period from July 1st to October 31st, providing an update on any change since the adopted budget on June 30. The goal is to ensure we are on track in monitoring physical health as we move through the year. High-level look of where we're at. Hermosa Schools has a strong reserve, ensuring financial stability. Enrollment and attendance are monitored to optimize funding, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Special ed expenses are managed with ongoing adjustments as needed. So first interim changes. From July to August, the district trues up enrollment from budget to first interim. So when you're looking at the report now, you're looking at our true numbers. You're no longer looking at a projected number. Enrollment decreased, impacting revenue, while staffing was adjusted, reducing expenditures as well. August through September, special education expenses increased due to increased staffing and contracted services based on student needs. Average daily attendance has also taken a dip recently. And as you know, ADA is our funding. So this is a friendly reminder to all those that are watching, every day matters, show up to thrive. When students miss school, the district loses hundreds of thousands of dollars of essential revenue. Having students in their seats ensure the district can continue providing a quality education. In December 2024, we received our updated enrollment projections from PowerSchool Analytics, and those are used in our multi-year projections. Here's our pie chart. The lion's share of the budget continues to be salaries and benefits. This slide, I just wanted to bring to our attention that the budget is built on assumptions, and the key assumptions for the budget and the multi-year projections are enrollment, average daily attendance, your cost of living increase, statutory benefit costs, and CalSTRS and CalPERS retirement benefit costs. And we still have a healthy reserve all 3 years. It's froze. Thank you. Both revenue and expenditures are projected to increase over the next 3 years. This growth reflects anticipated changes in funding, staffing needs, and rising operational costs, while the budget reserve balance and will continue to serve as a safeguard for the district's long-term health. Closing out first interim, physically solvent for this current year and the next 2 years. Do you have any questions?
Any questions from the board? Rachel?
What was the
Maggie?
enrollment? What was the enrollment drop on that? I didn't find it in the numbers.
So at budget, we're at 1440, and now we're at 1417. So it's about 32 students.
And is that spread across all the grades?
Yes. Yeah.
Still an increase overall, but
From last year.
slightly lower than projected.
Right.
Carol? Kathy? All right. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to R-16-2425, the superintendent's report. Dr. Wilds.
Yes. So I don't have anything earth-shattering. We just have a few things we want to share. One, a huge thank you to Dr. Buddy Clemens. The band concert last night was, a single tear may have fallen down my face. It was unbelievable. The kids, one of the things that I think is most impressive about him is that towards the end, as he was talking to the kids, his voice dropped down like this. And the kids all leaned forward and they are just waiting for a pin to drop. So it was great. And their suspenders and the boat, the everything was amazing. We also want to let everybody know that we are coming into the holiday season, which means purchases of e-bikes might be happening. And so we will be reminding families that if that e-bike does show up under a tree, then we need a certification class to go with that. So we have a live in-person class coming in January. What we are realizing, though, in our work with the police department is that we have lots of students following the rules, which is amazing. Our students are doing the right thing. But however, we have a lot of adults who are not. Now, we don't have control of adults, but we did feel in our meeting with the police department is we want to start pushing out to parents little 60-second videos on what to look for as a parent. If you're parenting a rider of an e-bike, what to specifically look for. So our first video will be coming out probably next week, and it is specifically to train parents how to accurately monitor what that helmet should be doing on the head in terms of where the straps should be, the loops, how it should be fitted, and so things to look for. The one after that will be how to look for the braking. Braking on e-bikes degrades very, very quickly because students are traveling at a faster rate and they're stopping at a faster rate. And so especially on hills, we need parents to be able to quickly monitor what's happening with the brakes. And we wanted to share our December Spotlight video. This month's Spotlight video spotlights Cindy Grellner. She is an amazing speech and language pathologist. I have a very special place in my heart for speech and language pathologists. So if you like the cadence that's coming out of my mouth tonight, we can thank a speech and language pathologist from Fairfax, Virginia. But we wanted to highlight Cindy and all the work. And one of the most amazing things about Cindy is she has such a positive attitude. So we want to highlight her. So thanks, Dinah.
So that made me probably a great candidate to be a speech therapist. It was a journey. I can't say that I always knew this was what I wanted to be. I originally wanted to be the President of the United States. When I interviewed for this job, I knew right away it's where I wanted to work. We as a staff feel like family because we spend so much time with each other. I think I love the honesty of the children. Anything that would come out of a child's mouth has. And I think I feel like they're comfortable in my room, so they sometimes do let it all out. Getting to see a child graduate from speech is like the greatest thrill of my life. When I get to have that meeting with their parents and say, he's got it, he can do it. He's done, he doesn't need speech anymore. That's what it's all about.
Great, thank you all. So that's it for me. We will be sending Cindy's video out in this week's weekly wave, and then it'll be out on social media as well.
Well, that was the highlight. That was great. I love how enthusiastic she is. I always like to be around her. She's really great. All right, moving on to R-17-2425, board member roles discussion. Dr. Wilds.
Yes, and so typically in this December meeting, we would bring in oath of office, and then we would have a organizational meeting. However, the way the month of December lined up, California Education Code does not allow for an organizational meeting to occur until after the second Friday of the month of December following an election. So it doesn't allow us to reorganize until next Wednesday. So we'll be back here next Wednesday to do a quick reorganization. So we wanted to be able to give you all this time and space. We provided in your folder kind of an outline of all of the different board member duties, and we thought we'd allow you to talk about it and fight over who wants to be part of the LCAP. And so I'll turn it over to you all.
Thank you. Well, I think the first question I would say we should all maybe just ask ourselves is, are these the only committees that are ones that we want to have? Are these all necessary?
Are they all necessary?
So I can give some context to Measure S. I was kept on that because I had been president when we were finishing it up. So that's traditionally board president's job to deal with whatever facilities are happening. And you don't need me or Measure S facilities reps anymore, so we can just cross that one off.
Cross it off.
But is there going to be a Measure
No,
HB?
because I was on it only as a legacy since I was so tied into the finishing of the bond.
Totally understand that part. But will there be a new committee then for
No,
Measure
because
H?
it's automatically wrapped underneath the board pres. You're in on all those meetings.
Oh, okay, great. Never mind, we're just going to, okay.
John Isom.
Well, Maggie, you look like you can take on a couple other ones then. All right. Just wanting again to maybe ask, Maggie, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about the LA County Schools Trustee Association or the LA County District Organization?
Oh, Laxa looks like Kathy. You want to talk about that one?
No, I wasn't in on it this time.
Yeah, I know, but you were in on it last.
Yeah, it was.
I haven't been on it since 2014.
It was I think 1 or 2 meetings a year. It was not a lot. It says 6 dinner meetings, but I never went to a dinner meeting.
Is it something that we feel like is necessary
I
for
don't
our
think so.
district? Or is
I
it
don't
a
think it
good-
is at all.
I'm kind of looking to people who might know more about, I've never been to a meeting.
I mean, unless you're dying to go, I don't know that this is necessarily. What I might say is, as they come up, and if there's a particular speaker that might be of interest to one of you, we will send this out and say, hey, who's interested in hearing? We could do that as well.
So we pay a due into LACSTA, right?
Yeah.
And so with that, we've had a rep who has been assigned to it every year. I went early on in my first term. I ventured all the way to Montebello several times and to Downey. Currently, though, Tracy from Redondo Beach, El Segundo School Board, she is one of the delegates for that. So like, it is a leadership opportunity, and we have so few from the South Bay that if we wanted to make a bigger presence and pull the meetings from Montebello, Tracy would welcome an additional partner to move that further down the 105. But that's all I got. They have good speakers. I think that's the best part.
Just want to put it out there, make sure everybody knows their opportunities. Since I'm taking on a couple other committees. No, we're just discussing what's out there. My other question would be, I know that there was, at least my personal desire would be to have a little more front-facing with like HBF or PTO or school, the community constituents at functions in which they're already gathering. So we're not making another meeting. And so I know this has, the HBEF and PTO meetings have had a designated representative. I've been on it once, you've been on it 2 years.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if we should make that a rotating position.
It's not a bad idea.
Because the superintendent's always going to be there.
Yep, and that way they get to.
And that way then everyone gets to see a different board member, or you get to really hear what people are doing.
I'm questioning if it's redundant, but I understand the supportive aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I felt a little bit redundant in my capacity
You
there.
may not need to speak
Speak.
out,
Just
right?
be there,
But
present.
maybe being there, could possibly be there early to be able to talk to people more informally so that you get some face-to-face time, so it's not, but we don't need to both be reporting out on the business of the district, right?
That makes sense to me.
Our principals do an amazing job reporting out. I report out on high level, but maybe to gather input as opposed to reporting.
I do think everybody in that room who spends a lot of time in the community appreciates a board member present at those meetings, even if you're not reporting out.
Well, that's
That'd be
good to
my
know.
sense, yeah.
What about Jen's idea of rotating? Do we want to keep it as a solitary person?
They're about 5 a year, so they're every other month, right? So maybe it's a sign. Like October, December, February, like May and June. So there's about 5 a year formal joint meetings. So
I actually enjoyed going. I just felt the reporting part was sort of redundant, but having been a former PTO member and Ed Foundation, I really enjoyed seeing the progress from when I used to be on it. It's so much more professional. So I think we can all be on it. And it's truly.
So the question would be like, do you want to just hold on to it and do it, or do you want to?
Either way, I'm happy to do it again, or I'm happy to have it be a rotating thing, whatever people want.
I like the idea of rotating.
Let's do it.
And maybe we sign up for it like we do board dinner, though, so
Yeah.
there's a chance.
I was going to say maybe there's a sign-up spreadsheet or something for it.
That makes sense.
the one thing I would ask you all to consider, right, historically, we've always had one representative to the Wellness Committee. With Rachel coming on, that makes two board members on the Wellness Committee, which can be a little tricky, where we might have to change how we run the Wellness Committee. It could be considered a board committee, so that might be something. Do you both want to consider? Does one want to take wellness, one take equity and inclusion?
Well, I've done wellness for a long time, but I'm happy to. I've got a few other ones that I'm going to have to sign up for. And I can come on occasions if you need help.
But I know that's been something.
Oh, but I get it all the time. I'm happy to share.
We don't have to decide now. You can fight about it in the parking lot.
Happy to share.
And also, we've got the South Bay Coalition of Hate. We have a president here in our midst, so.
South Bay Coalition, I was just elected chair of the South Bay Coalition Against Hate, so that's just stacking up my.
Jesus. Awesome. Thanks, Maggie.
So that's really exciting. We are probably going to move those meetings to quarterly as opposed to monthly. In my presidential role, I'm just
How often?
Slashing.
quarterly.
Quarterly.
Okay. I'll be there, and we can have somebody else. I can be there as an administrative role. I don't have to be there as a HBCS role. Just to give more context, it's Hildy Stern, former mayor of Manhattan Beach, put this together in response from LA versus Hate at the county level, and given her wide network of folks across the faith and nonprofit communities, she assembled a coalition of folks from El Segundo up through Palos Verdes that is really supervisor level on down, and has just done a fabulous job helping the community respond to incidences of hate in kind of whatever ism they have taken place. So
I
it's-
like it.
we could easily bring somebody else in, but I'm there for the next year.
We can all visit.
Yeah, and you all can visit.
We're welcome to come as a
Absolutely.
public member, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The one I don't know anything about is the LA County School District Organization. We've always appointed somebody, but I don't know how it's actually been run. Or if it exists.
Yeah.
Do we pay money?
Dinah, that's a good question. Do we pay money for that particular one?
LA County School District?
Mm-hmm.
No.
That might be one.
So tonight, we're just discussing, and then we're.
discussing?
Does anybody have like
Have
a
it top of mind?
desired, Carol, Rachel, since you're new, we're definitely open to like, if there's ones that you're like, you see, and you're like, gosh, I'd really like to do that. We applaud that. No, you, nope. You-
It's better, but I also, I mean, the Equity and Inclusion Committee, but I'm happy to serve on wherever I'm needed. I mean, I'm fine driving to Montebello if it's needed, and
The equity inclusion is gonna meet in like
Library.
5 p.m. It's like a different time period, just
Yeah,
so you
it's
know.
been later in the afternoon, so staff can attend.
And then
Have we met yet
wellness is
this
been
year?
during the day.
We just finished the application process last Friday. It just
Okay,
closed,
so
and
we haven't met yet.
No,
Because I'm on that, I'm the rep on that, and I haven't heard anything
yes,
about it.
you
so-
will be.
Okay.
So just to clarify, the ones that are really open, because Jen takes on some of these just by her status, if she were to be elected board president. I hear it's a really contested seat. Kathy's fighting for it.
Oh, that's right, you know me.
But the LACSA position's open, the BCHD Youth Coalition, Wellness, Equity, Tri-Cities goes to you, and now HB, EF, and PTO would be rotating, right? So it's Equity, Wellness, Youth. Equity, Wellness, and Youth are the ones that are really open, I think. And LACSA, sorry. So there's 4 committees.
what's the Youth Coalition?
So-
That one's not.
So the youth.
Cities Health
yeah.
District. I'm on that one too.
Yeah, Kathy and I have attended that one together. So the Youth Coalition meets, Beach Cities Health District Youth Coalition meets, typically it's maybe twice, it's not very often, but what we do is we
summer.
sit and, it's typical in the summer, we went maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. What we do is we go, we provide feedback to the beach cities. About 6 months ago, we helped them kind of cultivate their strategic plan and kind of help set some guidelines as to what we're seeing in the school district. So it's actually a really,
It's great.
yeah.
I love it.
Is that something you want to keep doing?
I
you
do.
think?
But we're gonna talk about who's gonna do what later, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yes.
Everyone's just trying to figure out which
Figure out,
hole is open for them.
Which hole?
Yeah, which one they want to.
I've done LCAP before. I'm
But
happy.
there's
Oh,
4 members, right? Because Jen has her positions
Yep.
locked up. So,
Yep.
I mean, or there's 5 positions. So there's enough for everyone to go around and take a role in here. And I don't have to take any. I'm totally good. So then there's 3 for 5.
Got it. Sorry, the equity and inclusion, what time of day do those typically meet?
These are around 3:30 to 5.
Okay, that's when you said with staff. Okay.
Yes. The LCAP, the same thing, typically later in the afternoon. It's super riveting. But the LCAP is a really interesting one to understand kind of the processes and the cycles and state requirements.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember why we brought that back to being a board position.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It can be something that you all attend, but that's not a on-the-books board position.
I would say there's a lot of repetition of information. I've been on LCAP for 5 or 6 years, right, Sylvia? And there's a lot of repetition of what you get in here that's in there. So, yeah.
It's a lot of regurgitation of the same reports we do, but Maggie, we created that position for you.
I know, and I'm trying to remember why I pushed for it
I
back
think
then.
we
It was-
just weren't, we were wanting to have more information.
Yeah,
And I
I'm just curious
also,
about the process, I think.
I think also in the past, we didn't have as many parent participation, and we have a lot of parent participation in that group now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm open for the board to, if somebody's interested, you can always go sit in. I don't know if it's necessary to have a reporting position from the board level, just because Sylvia does such a good job. I'm to Jen's point, I think it was, we pushed for it because we were curious about the process at the time, and we wanted to learn more.
So are we taking it off?
I'd be okay
I
to
would
take
be
it
okay
off.
to take it off.
Good, take it off.
But people can always go visit if they wanted to.
Oh, I'm gonna go visit every time.
I mean, who doesn't? We have to lock the doors. It's a capacity issue. So just for the purposes of the meeting, just now that you all kind of have had this conversation, be thinking, we'll touch base, and then when we meet again next Wednesday.
Awesome.
Or we'll assign some really great committees to you. All right, we're gonna keep moving on to the consent agenda. Do I have to say the words on this, about the consent agenda, or do I need to just, do I take a vote? Can I get a motion to approve? Okay, thank you, Maggie. Can I get a second? Thank you, Rachel. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on. We will go to board action now. Business B-5924-/25, the first interim report, 2024-2025. Paula.
Approval is recommended for the 24-25 first interim budget report and certify that the district will meet all its financial obligations for the remainder of this year and 2 exceeding years.
Great, thank you, Paula. Any questions, concerns? No. Great, can I get a motion?
Moved.
Thank you, Kathy. Can I get a second? Thank you, Carol. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to B-60-2425 fiscal year 2024-25 first interim revisions already.
Approval is recommended for the 24-25 budget revisions for the first interim report. This is a compliance piece where the actual work is done in the system.
Thank you, Paula. Anybody have any questions, concerns? Great. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Kathy. Can I get a second? Thank you, Carol. All in favor? Moving on to B-61-2425, the purchase of Foundations Wilson Language Curriculum. Ms. Gleck.
The Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant is one-time funding, and we're asking the district or the board to approve and ratify the purchase of the Foundation's curriculum and consumables for TK through 3rd grade from the Learning Recovery Block Grant.
Great. Does anyone have any questions? Questions? If this is something the teacher's been wanting, these consumables?
This is already, something we already have.
Great.
And traditionally, foundations you purchase on a yearly.
Yeah.
With this one-time learning and recovery block grant, there is an incentive for districts to expend the money this year, or else the money has to be folded into LCAP reporting. So Sylvia has worked hard to get a 3-year quote, and so that we can expend the money, so we can use this year's money, but for 3 years
great.
of
And
consumables.
do we have a place to put all these consumables?
We will.
Great. In
Yes.
our new closets that we're potentially?
We will. We don't want to run out of money 3 years from now and not
Right,
be able to
totally.
provide teachers what they need.
Good job of getting ahead of it, so everyone's ready to go at the beginning of any school year. Can I get anybody have any questions? All right, can I get a motion? Thank you, Maggie. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Kathy. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on. B-62-2425, the Hermosa Vista School and View Schools Multipurpose Room Cabinet Edition, Resolution Number 1708/09, in the matter of California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act Commission, CUPCA, for the approval of the Cabinet Edition at Vista and View Schools. Ms. Fontablo.
Thank you. The cabinetry will be added to View and Vistas NPR. As programs have expanded in both of those locations, we find ourselves needing storage space for programs that are offered in those spaces. So approval is recommended for the adoption of the California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act, CUPCA, for the proposal of received from Stolo Cabinetry for the installation of storage cabinets at View and Vistas School.
Great, thank you. Anyone have any questions? Does anyone have an organizer we're going to bring on to to help? Okay, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel, and I'll take Kathy as the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thanks. Moving on to B-63-2425, Resolution 07-24/25 for the adoption of a change order through the California Multiple Awards Schedule, CMAS. Contract number 4-22-04-1002 for additional cabinetry and labor at Valley School.
Thank you. Originally in November, the board approved the CMAS contract for the A-skip damage claim for the NPR and stage area. There was a section of cabinetry was missed, so this is a change order adding that to this project. The cost of the change is $13,067. So approval is recommended for the board to adopt and approve the change order for the CMAS contract 0422-04-1002 for the purchase of the omitted cabinetry for the flooring and cabinetry project at Hermosa Valley School.
Thank you, Paula. And any questions? Thank you, Nancy, for helping us move this project along. Okay, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Rachel. Second? Thank you, Aggie. All in favor?
Aye.
Great, motion passes. Moving on to personnel. P-22-2425, the approval of the contract of employment for Chief Business Officer, Dr. Wilds.
Yes. So agenda item P22 is a request for approval of a proposed contract of employment for Paula Montalvo as Chief Business Officer. The contract provides for employment for a term from January 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2028, 3.5 years. So that sets the contract in alignment with other cabinet staff, unless terminated sooner with the following compensation terms: an annual salary rate of $168 for the remainder of the 24-25 school year, $173.50 for 25-26, $178,231 for 26-27, $183,578 for 27-28, with increases for the same negotiated annual percentage increase afforded to other district management confidential employees. 20 vacation days per year, $75 per month automobile expenses, health and welfare benefits, and fringe benefits on the same terms as provided to other district management employees, and payment of dues for membership of the California Association of School Business Officials, CASBO. Staff recommend you approve this contract.
Thank you. And Paula, well-deserved. Well-deserved. We really appreciate you. You do an amazing job. Anyone else have any questions or comments?
No, just we need you. We appreciate you.
And she promises to stay for the rest of her life.
Okay. Yay. Can I get a?
She did. I heard it.
You didn't read that part of the contract?
Everyone heard that?
Heard it at a meeting. I don't know.
Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Carol. I'll take the second from Kathy. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, moving on to board member roundtable. Carol and Rachel, just to clarify what this time is if you have any other things you might want to bring up or questions you have or things you might want to discuss on another board agenda, it might be a good time. You can use this time any way we want. This is kind of our free time if you wanted.
Do you want to say anything?
I did have something to say, and that is that I'm incredibly honored and humbled to be sitting with such amazing professionals all around the table and in the room tonight. So I feel like I'm stepping into such huge shoes, and I'm very grateful to be here, and I want to say thank you.
Well, we are very happy to have you, so we feel honored as well. So, and thank you for all the service to our country. It's been great. Carol?
Likewise, I'm excited and, slightly nervous tonight, but lots to learn, but I'm excited to learn a lot and learn it from such great people that I have a lot of admiration for. So thanks for the opportunity.
I'd like to mention a little bit about going to the conference in Anaheim that I was only there for one day, but I learned so much and I got to know Carol and Rachel a little bit better. But also, I was impressed, number one, with the keynote speaker at the General Assembly from the Yale professor, and I can't remember her name, but she was amazing. Santos, yes, about the pursuit of happiness, or not pursuit, but the science of happiness. And I have done some deep dive on her now, and I'm pretty impressed, and that, because we all seek happiness, right? And the other thing that Jen and I went to was an AI session, and I'm a little bit leery of AI because being a language arts teacher, I always thought that it was sort of a shortcut to what they should go through to learn how to write and things like that. But I'm buying into it now. I'm like understanding it better, and that session was great for me to kind of become an advocate of it. So I'm excited about that. So,
Kathy?
I want to tag off of that. I think there were so many good things that we went there for own personal clarifications on, but I'm curious how, and it's been like hub and spoke with Susan. I know I just keep feeding her things that I thought was interesting, but I'm curious if there's a way to share out from among the board. I don't know what that looks like, but just curious how we could share more about lessons learned.
Can work that into our workshop.
Yeah, great. Or we can all send our feedback to Susan as well, and then Susan can send it out to all of us. But Rachel, did you want to have any other comments for today? Oh, sorry, Maggie, go ahead.
Jen, thanks for stepping in tonight. Really appreciate you.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my big proclamation and wear my
when it's all real.
I've got a Madam President shirt somewhere in my closet, guys. Don't worry.
And Carol and Rachel, thank you both for going through the journey. Thank you for doing all the work this fall, not only getting to know the communities on behalf of your campaigns, but also on behalf of Measure HV. You were instrumental in showing up every week and knocking on doors and passing out literature and putting your own reputation out there for validating the need for the district. And I really appreciate you taking a gamble. I know it's hard as a candidate to be for anything, but you really led with your values on that. And I really thank you for doing that. And Kathy, you're no longer new.
I was going to add on to just a couple of the other things. I think just my reminder is going to conferences where you're amongst peers on other boards is so valuable, especially when you're in a small school district, because you really get to benefit from all the knowledge that's out there. And I feel like we had just this incredibly inspiring 2 to 3 days so really appreciate the district and the community sending us to that conference, what it was here in Anaheim. And then the AI, I second what Kathy said, is just, you're always reminded that the kids that are coming to us now are digital natives. And so we have to, as adults that are guiding this district, really understand more about AI, understand how it's a tool, and how we can kind of embrace it and weave it into the fabric of what we're doing. So they're going to teach us if we don't get ahead of ourselves here. So I think just really thinking about how we look at our goals for moving forward using AI and really starting to embrace it and teaching our students and staff how to optimize it. That was what I really, and how it is so helpful to English language learners and SPED learners, and using it as a partner, not as something we should be afraid of. So that's what I took away from that meeting, and that to me was like, oh, okay, it really helps kind of set a direction for just moving forward. The other thing we went to, Susan and I went to, I think it was the science of reading. We didn't go there. No, I went with Kathy to the science reading, which is great because we're really trying to embrace kind of that movement back to the science of reading in this district. So it was great to hear from other districts that have had some success kind of embracing that it's not a program, it's a
research,
a way of being, a way of teaching, reminding us. So that was really helpful. And then also just understanding some of the safety things that are happening with constitutional law. That was very helpful because even at a small district level, these things can really be impactful. So some just strategies from other districts that they've been through that have been challenged by constitutional law. And then crafting a strategic plan we went to as well. And so since we're always kind of in the process of crafting annual goals, just figuring, looking forward to crafting something that may be a 3 or a 5-year plan. And Susan and I went to a really inspiring session with I think it's called the Menifee Union School District. And yeah, they had a really great, simple, kind of, glossy covered, beautiful thing, which we'll share with Eileen and everybody to kind of put things out there. And it was really well done and documented. So very, very helpful. And they seem very willing to share all their information. And that is all I have as well. Anybody else? Okay. And we'll move on to the end of the meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Yes, can we make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Kathy. Can I have a second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Cheers.
Meeting is adjourned at 8:03.